Have you ever had that surreal moment where you look at the clock and realize hours have passed, but you've accomplished absolutely nothing? You've been there, right? Sitting on your couch, feeling that crushing weight of what you should be doing, like exercising or tackling that daunting work project. But instead, you're 5 episodes deep into a Netflix series you didn't even mean to start. It's almost like your day evaporated in a mist of distractions, and you're left feeling like a guilty bystander in your own life. Let's break it down. Procrastination isn't just about laziness or poor time management. Nope, it's far more sinister, a clever defense mechanism your mind uses to avoid discomfort. Our brains are wired to chase pleasure and avoid pain, and sometimes even the thought of hard work or failure sends us running for cover, straight into the arms of instant entertainment. The truth is, it's not that you lack motivation, it's that your brain is masterfully avoiding what it perceives as a threat. And so you stay stuck, spiraling deeper into this never-ending loop. Let's make this personal. Take Mark, for example. Mark isn't just procrastinating on mundane chores, he's dodging his dreams. Every time he sits down to work on his side business, that creeping feeling of inadequacy sets in. What if he fails? What if everyone realizes he's a fraud? Rather than face these uncomfortable possibilities, Mark convinces himself that watching just one more YouTube video on productivity will somehow prepare him. Spoiler, it never does. And you know what happens next. The task gets pushed back until the last possible moment, and the pressure of the deadline is so intense that he manages to scrape something together in a panic. The adrenaline-fueled burst of productivity gives him temporary relief, but it's exhausting and unsustainable. More importantly, it reinforces a damaging narrative that Mark only works well under pressure. In reality, this cycle is slowly eroding his self-esteem and building a mountain of self-doubt. Here's the kicker. The more you procrastinate, the more you teach your brain that discomfort must be avoided at all costs. It's a vicious cycle, one that deepens the rut you're already in. So how do you break free? It starts with understanding why you procrastinate and acknowledging that it's not a character flaw. It's a survival strategy gone rogue. And once you grasp this, you can begin to rewire your brain for action. But more on that later. Picture this. It's Saturday morning, and the world feels full of possibilities. Birds are chirping, the sun is shining, and two friends, Mark and David, are about to have wildly different days. David rolls out of bed, energized and ready to seize the day. By 9 a.m., he's already gone for a run, grabbed a nutritious breakfast, and tackled a few items on his to-do list. He's radiating a sense of accomplishment, practically glowing with good vibes. But Mark? Well, Mark's still cocooned in his blankets, endlessly scrolling through TikTok. And here's where it gets interesting. David doesn't have some magical gift. He's not born with superhuman willpower. He doesn't wake up every day with a burning passion for life. Nope, David has simply learned a few psychological tricks that keep him on track, while Mark is unknowingly sabotaging himself. As the morning turns into afternoon, Mark emerges, groggy and annoyed, knowing he should be doing something productive, but feeling paralyzed by his mounting responsibilities. David, meanwhile, thrives on a concept called delayed gratification. He's mastered the art of choosing long-term fulfillment over short-term pleasure. Sure, the instant dopamine hit from a quick Instagram scroll is tempting, but David knows that the joy he'll get from checking off meaningful tasks will stick around a lot longer. He finishes his run feeling proud and clear-headed, setting a positive tone for the rest of his day. Mark, on the other hand, is chasing instant gratification. The temptation of one more YouTube video or another handful of chips is too strong. He gets a brief rush of pleasure, but it's immediately followed by a sense of emptiness. By the end of the day, he's irritated with himself, wondering why he feels so low, so unaccomplished. It's a cycle he can't seem to escape, and it chips away at his self-esteem bit by bit. Here's the thing. Mark isn't lazy. He's stuck in a pattern that his brain reinforces with every easy choice. To break out, he needs to do more than just wish for motivation. He needs to reprogram his mind, much like David did, to value long-term rewards over fleeting pleasures. And it all starts with one simple concept, the illusion of should. Let's dive into that. We've all heard it. I should eat healthier. I should finish that project. Or I should call my parents. But do you ever notice how the word should has the uncanny ability to suck the joy out of everything? It transforms even the most exciting opportunities into obligations. And guess what? Our brains are hardwired to resist anything that feels like a chore. Even if it's something we actually want to do, labeling it as a should wraps it in a cloak of dread. Let's go back to Mark. Every weekend he thinks, I should go to the gym. But that word, should, immediately triggers resistance. Suddenly, working out feels like an external demand, something being imposed on him rather than a choice he's making. On the flip side, David doesn't say, I should exercise. He reframes it. I want to work out because it makes me feel strong and energized. See the difference? It's subtle, but it's transformative. Here's the psychology behind it. When you tell yourself you should do something, you're setting up a battle in your mind. Part of you wants to rebel, to prove that you're not controlled by some invisible authority. But when you frame tasks as things you want to do, you align them with your own desires and values. Instead of feeling like a reluctant employee, you become the enthusiastic CEO of your life. Imagine finishing that project you've been avoiding. How would it feel? Amazing. You'd feel so relieved, so proud. Exactly. It's not about forcing yourself. It's about wanting that feeling of accomplishment and that rush of satisfaction. The shift from should to want might sound simple, but it has a profound effect on your motivation. Instead of dreading your responsibilities, you start to see them as pathways to the emotions you crave: pride, relief, joy. And this brings us to an even deeper trap we need to address. Inside Mark's mind, there's a storm of unrealized dreams. Writing a best-selling novel, launching a groundbreaking business, traveling the world. His imagination runs wild, painting vibrant pictures of what his life could be. But there's a problem. Those dreams never make it past the idea stage. In his day-to-day reality, Mark feels like a passive observer, watching others achieve what he secretly desires. Why am I so useless, he thinks. I have all these great ideas but never act on them. I'm such a failure. This inner monologue is a heavy burden, weighing him down. And here's the painful truth. The more he fails to act, the more he believes he's incapable of action. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy, trapping him in a loop of learned helplessness. This isn't just about missed opportunities, it's about eroding your sense of self-worth. When you constantly see yourself falling short, you stop believing you're even capable of change. And that's when misery seeps in, slowly but surely, until you're too paralyzed to make even the smallest move forward. But here's the good news. This cycle isn't unbreakable. It starts with taking tiny, meaningful actions that build your confidence bit by bit. And it's not just Mark, right? We've all experienced that gnawing feeling of watching life pass us by, of seeing others live out their dreams while we're stuck making excuses. We start telling ourselves, maybe I'm not cut out for success. Maybe I'm just meant to be average. But here's the twist. Taking action doesn't have to mean monumental leaps. Sometimes it's about baby steps that lead to bigger wins. Think about it. Even a mountain is climbed one step at a time. Let's be honest. Pointing fingers feels good. It's comforting to think that our failures aren't our fault. If only my boss appreciated me, if my parents had been more supportive, or if the economy wasn't so unfair. Mark has a laundry list of reasons why he's stuck. And while it's true that life throws curveballs, blaming everyone and everything robs you of your power. Here's the brutal truth. While external factors can make life hard, they don't define your outcomes. Taking responsibility doesn't mean dismissing the real challenges you face. It means recognizing your role in shaping your future. When Mark blames his circumstances, he unknowingly gives away his control. He's like a ship drifting without a captain, letting the waves push him wherever they want. But let's flip the script. What if Mark decided to be the captain of his own ship, steering himself through storms rather than letting them dictate his path? Taking responsibility is tough. It means admitting that your choices and your inaction have contributed to your current state. But it's also the most liberating thing you can do, because once you accept that you're in the driver's seat, you realize you also have the power to change direction. Remember this: blaming others feels comforting, but keeps you powerless. Taking ownership feels scary, but sets you free. So ask yourself, are you willing to trade temporary comfort for lasting empowerment? Now, don't get me wrong, having a positive mindset is essential, but mindset alone is like having a GPS with no car. You can plan the perfect route, but without movement, you're still stranded. So what's the missing link? Discipline. And discipline isn't glamorous or thrilling. It's the quiet engine that drives progress, even when motivation has packed up and left town. Discipline means doing the thing even when you don't feel like it. It's showing up day after day, chipping away at your goals. Mark's been told 100 times that success is about pushing through discomfort, but the concept never clicked until he reframed his approach. Instead of obsessing over the entire marathon, he started with a 15-minute walk. Instead of writing a whole book, he committed to 1 paragraph a day. Think of it like building a muscle. The more you exercise your discipline, the stronger it gets. And guess what? Every small win gives you a boost of confidence, a feeling of, hey, I can actually do this. It's like climbing a mountain 1 step at a time. You might not see the peak immediately, but with each step, you're closer than you were before. So here's the plan. Break down your big, overwhelming goals into tiny, manageable tasks. Want to get in shape? Start with a few push-ups. Want to write a novel? Commit to 15 minutes a day. The key is to start small, stay consistent, and celebrate every victory, no matter how tiny. Progress is progress. All right, so you're ready to break free from these self-sabotaging mindsets. Here's your action plan, and it's not complicated. First, reframe your shoulds into wants. Make tasks feel like opportunities instead of obligations. Second, start small. Focus on 1 tiny action you can take right now to get the ball rolling. And third, take ownership of your choices. Empower yourself to shape your future instead of waiting for life to happen to you. Remember, it's not about sudden, life-changing transformations. It's about steady, intentional progress. The journey to the life you want isn't a sprint. It's a series of consistent steps. Are you ready to start climbing your mountain? Breaking free from destructive mindsets is crucial, but to build the life you want, you'll need unwavering discipline. Ready to take the first step toward real power? Join me in exploring why discipline is the ultimate key to transformation. Watch here. If this message resonated with you, tap that like button and subscribe for more insights and humor as we tackle life's biggest challenges. Let's become the heroes of our own stories, 1 small victory at a time. Let's do this.